First of all, I would like to say how very happy I am to have you all here. And second, as you know, I've had quite a little experience. Blissful, but I feel somewhat lighter. They took out this much intestines, and now I've had to go through some chemotherapy, and it was a wonderful experience in the hospital. I have been so impressed with the spirit there. I have not seen it in hospitals in the West, and I want to, especially because some of my doctors have come, I want to ask them to come up on the stage with your wives and greet everybody. Dr. Tandon was the first doctor I went to, and thanks to his insistence, I had the colonoscopy that revealed this cancer. I was somewhat reluctant, but he was insightful enough to insist, so I said, fine. And I have met many medical people in my life, but these three, as well as others that I met there, are particular examples of noble humanity. And I want to I would like to invite first Dr. Tandon to come and say a few words.
Thank you, Swamiji, for inviting me to the mic. I feel a bit embarrassed to standing here at such a high pedestal at the feet of Paramhansa Yogananda and in the company of Swami Kriyananda and with all of you at such a pious state. I have not read much of religion, but having been born in a family of a very religious nature and God-fearing, I have imbibed certain values, and those are the same values that were indeed reflected today, starting from the prayers, the songs, and the speech that was given subsequently. That is, we are all children of God. We should learn to live together with love and joy. I wish we practiced this all over the world. We would have such a happy world in that case, without any fights. Somebody asked me a long time ago when I was in an interview, what's your religion? I said, I believe in working. Work for my patients sincerely, and that's what is my prayer. I don't have time for doing any rituals. So my religion is medicine. My temple is hospital, and I see God in my patients. And that's what I believe. That's what I believe. I think that this is what, to me, is religion. Thank you very much for again inviting me to this podium.
Thank you. I feel toward all three of you that you are dear friends. Dr. Ashish, I asked him rather cheekily, because I really wanted to know, and I felt that he had the sincerity to answer me. I said, what do you get out of surgery? Seems to me such a gruesome profession. And he said to me very beautifully, he said, I get complete peace and concentration. It's like meditation. I honor that. And so I would like to ask him to come.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for calling us. And it's a big honor for us to be here. I have the privilege to make Swamiji lighter. But it was
better than I know myself.
But I had some feelings to share. I'm not a good speaker, but I just got some points I should not miss. As he was in the hospital and we were dealing with his health issue, One thing, when I asked him, how are you doing? He said, I'm absolutely fine. I was surprised a person having such kind of a problem, so positive. Then as the journey went on, I explained him about the health issue which I was going to tackle on him. Because when I saw him, it was a minor issue, but then it turned out to be a bit more. So he said, after listening to all those things, he said that the journey was going to be very exciting. So the journey of surgery was very exciting for me also. And I was really moved. And it was like full of thrill and excitement, definitely. Treating Swamiji is this thing. But it was a kind of a medical enigma for me, his recovery. Normally when we operate, the recovery takes 3 to 5 days. But he was up and about and quite better on the second day of the surgery. So I feel that's the inner self, which is so beautiful in him. And so charismatic personality what he is, which makes him such a big man. Everyone has been enlightened here. This is my first place where I'm in any of the religious meeting. But after listening to the beautiful songs, and I was really meditating. And the other thing was, Swamiji told, as a surgeon, as a person who is in the world, and this was my first meeting here, but when we operate, there is a time, I don't know what meditation is, but there is a time I'm thinking about only one thing, that what I'm doing. And that is what I call meditation. It's like you are totally concentrating what you are, and you're doing for the mankind. I thank you everyone for inviting us. And so,
And Dr. Amit is the one who is picking up the remains. He's my oncologist, and I would like to ask him to come too.
Thank you, Swamiji, and thanks everybody. It's an honor for us to be at this religious pedestal. As far as my experience goes with Swamiji, around 6 months ago, I saw him for the first time on the Astha channel while switching the TV. But when I met him, then I was intrigued to know more and more about him. He presented me a book of his Revelations of the Christ, but due to the paucity of time, I could not go through it. But being from the younger generation, I am more fond of learning things through the internet. So I went through his site, and there was one thing which really impressed me, and I told him that his ambitions in life. There were 2 ambitions that he had written boldly in his website, and they were to find God and to help people find him. I was really impressed by him, and then went through further. Now, regarding his experience as a doctor, as we all know that medical oncology or chemotherapy, it's a very toxic thing. There is a lot of difference between the treatment given by Dr. Tandon and by me. He gives treatment to cure people or to make them right. I give the drugs to damage. And that's not a joke, that's a fact, because I give drugs to kill the cancer cells. And once we give the drugs to kill the cancer cells, they damage the normal cells as well. Now, when I described the whole procedure to him, he was quite positive about the whole thing. And it's been almost 10 days that we've given him chemotherapy. And you can see him stand right in a very positive attitude. Now, I hope that I'll take him through next 4 months very positively, the way he's standing. And I'm sure that he'll be in front of you for next years and years to come. Thank you very much.
Dr. Amit said I might lose all my hair. I said, what hair? Thank you all. Now I would like to ask Mr. Kartikayan to speak. And you all know who he is. If you don't, he is a very important person. And I would say much more than that, important to me because he's very dear to me. He was at one time the head of what we would call the FBI in America. I think you call it the CBI, do you? And for you Americans, if you can imagine J. Edgar Hoover in this role, no comparison at all. He's a wonderful, humble, kindly man, and it's been a pleasure and a privilege to know him and his wife, Kala. Face them. So, without further ado, Mr. Kartikayan. What? Yes, yes.
Okay, Sangeeta, come. I'll invite Sangeeta to come to the stage, and we'll ask Dr. Kartikayan to...
This is also a book launch.
Yes.
Is it the 90th, Swamiji? Huh? 90th?
Something like that. You have to cut it.
I want Swamiji to be. If you come earlier,
Okay.
it's nearby. Okay. Cut it or open it?
You cut it.
Whichever you like.
Whatever you feel.
I'm sorry. And this is the book itself. I have to say thank you to Sangeeta for helping so much with the publication. I have to say that of all my books, in one way, this is the most important. The essence of the Bhagavad Gita is of more lasting importance, but for these times, right now, this is a very important book. I've never worked so hard on a book polishing it. I still find little things, I wish I'd put this word here and that sort of thing, but I do urge you to read it. You will find it very simple, very clear, and I think very convincing. Thank you. And thank you.